Welcome to the Paper Paintings Collage Studio. I'm Elizabeth St. Hilaire and this is Matilda. Matilda sits in and helps me set up these video shots because I am a one-woman show. So when I'm setting up the focus, it's Matilda that has to be me for the first couple seconds. Anyway, today we're here to talk about varying the size and shape of your brush marks. In order to get my collages to look just like a painting until you get really close up, that painterly effect is achieved by tearing brush marks out of paper in a variety of sizes. I do some long, some short, some wide, some thin, some curved, some straight and narrow, and some slightly square. All these variety of sizes mimic brush marks in a painting, and that's what makes my work look more painterly than a traditional collage. So Matilda and I are going to take a walk over to the work table and give you some examples of how to tear your own paper brush marks. Now let's talk about varying the size of your paper brush marks and the shapes, and let's talk about why. Okay, so here's an example of a piece I recently finished for a workshop, and I want you to notice that the shapes and sizes of the brush marks, the paper brush marks, I've got a medium-sized piece here, a larger piece in the highlight, and some longer, skinnier pieces along the front edge of the plate. I've got skinny, narrow pieces in the back, and I've got some larger pieces down here in this area of the front. The background of this piece is painted with a stencil, but I want you to really look at the variety of sizes and shapes of the pieces of paper in this piece. They are not all the same size and shape. They are emulating brush marks, and so some are long and skinny, some are shorter and wider, and some are medium, and some are larger and more of a square shape. So that's a nice example. This piece also provides good examples of the same thing. Up here in the greenery, there are large chunks of green in the tree line, but then you'll notice there are thinner, straighter pieces in the horizon, and as we come down towards the front of these little lily pads, these pieces get very small and oval in shape. So ovals, horizontals, longer horizontals, and much chunkier green in the tree line. And then I've got some cloud shapes that are a thinner rice paper that's sort of fluffy and meandering. Now, how do I create all those different paper brush marks? First of all, I always tear. I never use scissors. I always tear my papers, and I tear them in specific shapes. So for that apple, I'd be looking to tear a curved shape. So I would be rotating the paper with my left hand and tearing with my right hand since I'm right-handed, and I would turn and I would curve again, and I would make a shape that ends organically so that it looks like a brush mark. If it ends like a piece of tape with a straight edge, it doesn't look like a brush mark. If it has hard corners, it doesn't look like a brush mark. So you want to create shapes that are organic. This is sort of a curved, medium-sized shape. My next shape would be a smaller, rounded shape, like maybe those lily pads, where I'll keep my thumbs close together and tear sort of an oval shape. And then that's significantly smaller than our first shape. Varying the sizes and shapes of your brush marks is important. Some big, some small, some medium, some large. Let's talk about tearing a long, thin shape. Keeping your thumbs close together and slowly going down the paper, shifting and slowly moving, keeping your thumbs close together. Now I'm tearing a long, narrow shape. This could be used either horizontally or vertically. Could be used horizontally to suggest a horizon line or the edge of water, and it could be used vertically in a wall or a fence behind your subject. So now we've got curvilinear shapes, oval shapes, and long, skinny shapes. That's a pretty good variety. I can also tear squares and circles. I can make my square shape. I can make a more circular shape by keeping my thumbs close together and rotating that paper around as I create a shape that not only is circular, but has taken the mark of my stencil or a pattern that was already on my collage paper, and I've torn that out in a circular shape. So this would be fun, maybe somewhere on an apple like this, to bring in the blue of the background of the upper right-hand corner. So there you have a variety of torn shapes in a variety of sizes, and you can see where they are useful in applications of round and also in landscape applications of horizontal.